Hi folks, this is Mega881000 again with another info video because this further release was announced for the simpler Digimon Shodo Figure Series. As you can see, this time it's Shodo Imperialdramon with a very special gimmick because he is even transformable for being rather a smaller action figure. Yeah, but he is, and more on that later. I no longer refer to this video as an info update because the announcement and promotion was already in mid-April 2022. Of course, there were already 2 entries at the With the Will forum about which were posted on the 19th April 2022, and you know the members are always very quick with posting latest news there, so assume that the official announcement was only a few hours earlier this day or some days earlier. Of course, there is also a familiar official promotion update for Shodo Imperialdramon existing, as mentioned, which can be found on the premium Bandai page, which even now gets translated into English thanks to automatic translation function, or it exists in English, where everything was beautifully and effectively staged again, like we know this, for the promotion of the Shodo Imperialdramon figure as well. And as you can see, also like about Shodo Alphamon before, Bandai Candy launched this blog page where the designer himself, named Morota, who is in charge for developing and designing the Shodo Digimon Figure Series, introduces the figure with his own words. And since the statements from the designer himself are even more interesting to me than simply translating the notes from the official promotion update, I thought that I would use these statements from this blog page for this video and for the content this time. Of course, Morota's statements also matching the notes of the promotion update as well. As I said, the original can be found on the Bandai Candy Blog page. It's not getting automatically translated, but I was able to copy the written things there and just translated them myself. Yeah, so much about that. You can find all the links to the different pages in the video description down below. And the Bandai Candy Blog starts on top with following informations. Reservations start on Wednesday, 20th April. Shodo Digimon Imperialdramon Premium Bandai Limited. Below that, Morota already starts introducing Shodo Imperialdramon. Minasama, konnichiwa, or better, hello everyone. I'm Morota, who is in charge of the Shogugan Digimon series. This time we will introduce the latest work following Alphamon from the Shodo Digimon series. This character will be commercialized this time. Below we have the teaser banner, as you can see, and Morota continues. Moteki no Koti Ryo Imperialdramon. No, I better going on in English. Yeah. Invincible Emperor Dragon Imperialdramon, the strongest evolution form of the main character Digimon in the second Digimon anime series, Digimon Adventure 02, from which production a new movie was announced last year, joins the Shodo Digimon Figure Series. As you can see from the image, in order to fully reproduce the charm of Imperialdramon, which has 2 forms, Dragon mode and Fighter mode. This time we challenged the mode changing gimmick, which is the first time for Shodo Digimon. Yeah, I would rather say they considered the mode changing gimmick for the first time for the Shodo Digimon series. Yeah, that's those translated texts again. You know. Morota explains further. Because Imperialdramon is a popular character, it got often made three-dimensional regardless of being pose-able or non-pose-able figure, but there are surprisingly only few figures which are able to reproduce both forms by transformation. And as a three-dimensional object without design arrangement, is it actually the first time since the toy at the time of first airing the anime? Well, did you got everything about? Because I did not. Anyway, what he meant with the without design arrangement thing, yeah, I don't know, but with the other part, Morota alludes to it for being the first transforming figure of Imperialdramon that can represent both modes, since that transforming kid's toy figure from back then, at the time of broadcasting the second Digimon season, yeah, was the one and only transformable Imperialdramon, who can have two forms with it. Yeah. And Morota going on with Sona, Joshua, Natsukashi, Mo Achiwate Dageru. Okay folks, rather in English, right? I just thought it was fun to include it, but I actually have no skill with this. Yeah. As I said, he explains further, this Imperialdramon may give you a taste of that kind of nostalgia. It seems to be an item to be released in the Reiwa era, and in addition to the transformation gimmick, while being the size of a toy, it has both the best proportions and articulation in both forms, so please look forward to it. Let me introduce it to you. I have again no idea what he means with Reiwa era, but hey, I agree with the rest. Doing and considering the transformation gimmick for such a small figure is extremely impressive and surprising at the same time, even if the transformation is possible also only partly due to parts forming, though the idea behind it remains just pretty awesome. And you have to agree that despite the transformation ability and parts forming, the figure looks pretty good in terms of proportions, and that in both forms. Unlike the amplified Imperialdramon Fighter Mode model kit figure, which also has the Dragon Mode transformation gimmick, but it's more a nice gimmick because the look of the amplified Dragon Mode is according to the circumstances and possibilities for doing so, yeah, let me say, not this good and exciting. He also mentioned the old transformable Imperialdramon figure and that the Shodo Imperialdramon is the first battle figure at today's level with which you can represent both modes again, thanks to transformation gimmick, since the transformable toy from back then. Yeah, we had it already. He probably forgot about the new amplified Imperialdramon model kit figure or didn't mention it on purpose. I don't know, but compared to the transformable Imperialdramon toy figure, the proportions of Shodo Imperialdramon really looking a lot better, even if the transformation technique was simplified and parts forming had to be used to achieve this better result, compared to the full transformable toy figure from back then. But I think it still remains pretty impressive, especially again for such a small Shodo figure. Or what do you think? On top of that, it should have a decent articulation, so what more could you ask for? I asking you. Below here, this is just an added info, where they wrote that the figure in the image is a prototype under development and may differ from the actual end product. Then we have the topic Imperialdramon Dragon Mode and that image. Morota speaking on Matsuwa Maikai Shinka Banku de Ushiro O Fuku do Basu Dorango Modo Karago Shokai. Yeah, I did it again. Sorry, but how I said, I think it's fun. First of all, I will introduce the dragon mode that blows away the castle in the evolution scene every time. Faithfully reproduce the image of the head that makes you feel even ferocious like in the main part of the animation. I think with this he simply means how well the head sculpt was done according to the original character design in the anime, and that the proportions are right and therefore looking dangerous and show accurate. Based on the blue and black molding colors, all other colors are planned to be reproduced with gold and other colors, and we are heading to a luxurious finish with metallic colors unique to the limited edition. Yeah, to show this better off, we have this image. The jaw can be opened wide up and down by connecting it with a ball joint. It is possible to create a powerful roaring scene. Yeah, roaring. And I meant this picture matches to that statement. Yeah, also here again they used metallic paint apps, as you can already see in the product images, which is again a big credit for such a small action figure, and the fact that he even has a poseable mouth for the dragon mode is really super fitting. Full exploited the potential for the dragon mode, I would say. On the other hand, we remember Shodo Imperialdramon figure, which cannot open his mouth at all. Therefore, they done another important improvement for Imperialdramon Dragon Mode. Nice! And Morota continues his program. Moreover, Imperialdramon mode changing! Fighter mode! With this image here, and again a little, topic with Imperialdramon fighter mode. Heading, Morota explains further. Muteki no kotei ryo kara kyoku no ryo senjie. From the invincible Emperor Dragon to the ultimate Dragon Warrior. By using relay parts for the legs can become longer and the proportions in the play are reproduced. That should mean that you can extend the legs for fighter mode's accurate proportions and retract them for the dragon mode, and it's a similar system like they used for the old transformable toy figure back in the day, and is, well, what is this again? Right, people, very impressive for being such a small Shodo figure. Below we have this image for the parts forming part, which he explains now. The order may change, but use these parts when transforming into dragon mode. By replacing the parts such as the head and both arms, where the impression changes greatly before and after digivolving, the best proportions in both forms got realized. Yeah. The first part of the last statement with the order may change probably means the halfway transformation ability in steps, typical for transformable Digimon figures, as well as that the transformation ability halfway gets managed through parts forming at the same time. The way with detaching and attaching parts, you know. In short, the figure is partly transformable in steps and partly through parts forming. And he means that the impression or the shape changes greatly depending on which Evo form the figure takes on, and that they were able to realize the best proportions for both forms through this used transformation technique. For all those who now say, well, it's also just parts forming, yeah, I have to reply, why not? Even considering mode changing gimmick for such a small figure, I definitely think it's more of a positive than a negative fact, and it justifies why it's not fully steps transformation. Yeah. I mean, if that's how the best looks could be achieved for both forms, it's just fine for such a small figure, isn't it? And both forms, how I said, looking really good. I have to agree, and you should just appreciate it. Below we have another ad. The black parts under the neck of Dragon Mode will be used when producing Giga Death, described on later. Below another image. Of course, even in fighter mode, the action unique to Shodo is alive and well. You can also see the pose with holding the positron laser on the right arm. Or, yeah, you can also recreate this typical representation for the fighter mode. Below we have this image. Giga Death! Reproduce the scene with the strongest special attack technique that put an end to the last boss fight with Belial Wamdemon in the main part of 02, or for us, Milo Myotismon. The scene as the special attack technique received the light from the children and erase the darkness revives. They also took that into account, excuse me please, and made it possible, like we know it from other Imperialdramon figures, which is very, very nice that you can have the representation of Giga Death using Giga Death. Below another note, for reproduction of this, attach the above parts to the positron laser. And yeah, that's all for the introduction, he said. Below we have some more informations. Shodo Digimon Imperialdramon, scheduled to be shipped in September 2022. Bandai suggested retail price with 4,180 yen, which would be about 32 and 68 US dollars, or about a bit over 30 euros. Premium Bandai Limited reservation started at Premium Bandai at 1 o'clock on 20th April, and Morota says goodbye with the following words. Soredewa minasan mata o shimashu. Yeah, or better, see you all again, person in charge, Morota. Yeah, and with that we are through with this Bandai Candy Blog and my info video about it, and the promotion of Shodo Imperialdramon. I hope you liked it, and that I could tell you something newer. Overall a solid figure that I like a bit, or even much better again than in contrary it was with Shodo Alphamon. Though it's Imperialdramon again, yeah, it's still transformable, and for those who want a simpler and more affordable Dragon Mode figure with today's standards instead of the massive and pricey precious GM Imperialdramon Dragon Mode by Mega House, the small one is a good alternative for this. And you can even have both forms with this. So it should be worth considering. Of course, the figure is too small to get the right proportions for that big characters, but that's the Shodo series and how it is. Unfortunately, this content is not quite as up to date anymore either, but I'm a bit behind with the creation of the info videos because there's been a lot of new announcements lately, and in between the info videos and unboxings I always have to publish or want to publish to keep everything more interesting. So it takes a bit until certain videos can get published. So if you still like this info vid at least a bit, so please leave me a like and subscribe to my channel. Otherwise, until the next video, and take care guys, your Mega 88 1000.